this is your host, Night Pigeon here. Me and my friend Ark were just playing Halo Reach here, and he told me about the trailer. E3 was earlier today, and they were talking about the new Halo Infinity game, which is basically just Halo 6. The reason why they called it Halo Infinity was because, well, most people think it's because 343 doesn't want their games to sound like the Final Fantasy, because you'll have Halo 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20. They just don't want to do that. So they're going to call it Halo Infinity, if you're wondering about that. And so I just watched the trailer. You can go and check it out. I'll probably put a link in it if I ever upload this to YouTube. And one big thing I know a lot of people are going to be happy about is that they are bringing, it looks like they're bringing back the original Halo art style. When I say original, they're going with they're basically, if you've ever played the Halo 2 remastered campaign, they're going with that art style, because that's just what people are happy with the most. Hey, by the way, Ark, you can talk if you want.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, people always get the assumption that they can't talk when I'm recording, but I found something weird, Ark. You might want to come look at this. This is weird. Anyway, so as me and Ark were just talking, you know, let's start a live stream. So we were gonna re-talk about the two things that we were going over before we started. So the one thing I was talking about was that I was kind of worried. There's one thing I'm worried about, is that we're not going to get what we see in the trailer. If you watch the Halo 5 trailer, it shows Master Chief walking in. Well, it shows Master Chief walking on a planet which everybody thought was the Ark. It was insane, and he was a cloak that they thought he went AWOL, and I was super excited for that. Because I was going to add it. I was saying, oh, everything that happened in Halo 4 is going to clash in Halo 5. Because you had Cortana died, Master Chief goes AWOL. I thought that was pretty cool. And then on top of that, you had Dr. Halsey going traitor, and also there was the key that controlled any AI technology in the galaxy. And I thought that was all going to clash in Halo 5. It was going to be awesome. And we were getting other playable characters. Now, I didn't really care about Locke. I just wanted to play Master Chief and play the story. Well, so Halo 5 launched, and I was super. And I remember I compared my first time playing Halo 4 at the night it launched, and the first time with Halo 5 when it launched, and that was pretty much my reaction to Halo 5's campaign, playing it the first night. It was just But Halo 4, oh man, that was so great. I remember, it's like a movie I could play in my mind. It was so cool landing on Requiem and finding out that Cortana is sick and you have to do all that. And then in the campaign, a lot of people didn't like it because it was depressing, but I really liked it. And then you get Spartan Ops. Spartan Ops, man, that was, it kind of felt like I was playing Halo Reach, because you can play as your own Spartan in it. And then this stuff with Dr. Halsey happened, and the key that can control it, and I was just so happy. And then Halo 5 came out, and it was like they just forgot or threw it away and hoped we didn't remember it. So anyway, so then me and Ark were talking here for a second. We were saying that. So Ark, what was the question you asked me? I forgot what it was. Ark, you there?
Whoops! I muted my mic. I forgot what it was.
Alright, I need the guard. I'm taking some hits. Yeah, what was it? You were wondering how they were gonna handle armor abilities. Now, yeah, multiplayer, and you said the armor abilities. Now, the armor abilities in Halo 5, Halo 5 did alright. It wasn't terrible, but I didn't love the way they did the armor abilities. Armor abilities in Halo Reach was really well. They did really well. Because you could pick, oh crap! I need a guard now! Get up here! There's a lot of energy swords up here.
Running riot. Double kill.
Behind you! Behind you! Behind you! Woo!
Oh shit.
Triple kill.
Gotta love the guard. That was scary. Anyway, so as I was saying, what was I saying? I forgot. It got intense there for a second. Oh yeah, with Halo Reach, the armor ability is really cool. And Halo 4, what did Halo 4? Yeah, Halo 4 kind of did the same thing, but it just didn't feel as new and as exciting as Halo Reaches did, in my opinion. So if they have armor abilities like the way they handled Halo Reach, that I think that would be really cool. But there are a few there were a few cool Halo 4 armor abilities. Like, I didn't like Promethean Vision, that was too much. But some things I did like. I liked the Promethean Shield. That was just the ability just to pull off that shield. You remember your first reaction seeing that thing, right? It was.
Yeah, it was badass.
Was this? My messages aren't loading right now, but oh crap! There was that. Also, I liked how you can make your own loadouts in Spartan Ops. Like how you can make a loadout that would be based. Like I had a loadout that I called the Medic, and it had the regeneration field, and I always help my teammates out in Spartan Ops. So yeah, if they you know make the armor, I guess yeah, but the way the armor abilities worked in Halo 5, it just wasn't as fun.
I prefer
it was actually just kind of. Yeah, I prefer the older gameplay. Now, one thing I loved in Halo 5 was the amount of weapons you could use. That was so fun to go in the Forge and just look at. It took them long enough to add Forge anyway, but it was just so satisfying to go in there and look at the different weapons. You know, each variant of it. Because normally you just have all the games and this is what this weapon does, but now there's 3 different versions of each of the 18 weapons in the game, which is phenomenal. It's amazing. And
maybe we're gonna remove that.
They
Make
might
different
remove
variations.
that, I kind of liked it. Well, the variations were cool, but I didn't like how they were Rex.
They only added it for microtransactions. Now we're gonna go with customization. That,
yeah, I
like,
can see that.
paid customization.
But anyway,
Kinda like Titanfall 2.
so what was the next thing we talked about? Oh yeah, so then we were talking about. So I just got an idea in my head because back in Halo 3, you know, if you went split screen, you could play as the Arbiter and as second player, and then the other 2 would just be elites. Now, I actually didn't. I didn't really play Halo 2, so I don't know how likely this is. But I was just thinking, you know, I just mentioned it to my friend here. I'm just like, hey, so imagine this. You know, first player gets to play as Master Chief, and second, the Arbiter. And what if third player played as Atriox or something? And he just went silent. I haven't played Halo 2 though, or Halo 2, Halo Wars 2, so I don't know how likely that's gonna be. But that
Actually,
cool little ideas. What'd you say?
I don't think we're gonna go to Ark. It's just gonna be on the new Halo ring.
It should be on our. Well,
4-3 did say
yeah,
that
that's
they're
actually a
gonna
good
focus
point.
on
We
Chief
might not.
more.
They're gonna focus on Chief more because people like Chief. He's the main character. In Halo 5, you only got to play as him in like 3 different missions. Okay, there's a lot of. What happened? I killed the elite and the 2 grunts self-destructed. So yeah, basically. Yeah, so we might not go to the Ark, but I kind of want to. I want to be on Ark for. If we could be on the Ark for like the final half of the campaign, because I think we kind of have to go to the Ark because there's a flood outbreak on it. You know?
I'm sure that got stopped.
Well, it got Well, I watched the cutscenes. The outbreak's still quite there. It's just it's under control now because in the Halo 2 Awakening the Nightmare, all they're trying to do is turn on the Sentinels to help contain it.
2 enemies remaining. Last enemy.
But with how quickly that spread, I don't think the forces on the Ark is going to be enough to contain the outbreak. However, I don't think it's going to. Oh! And I just remembered something. That made me even more excited about Halo 5 that they never added. You can go to the Halo Follower and he was talking about Mendicant Bias. Oh man, Mendicant Bias. Where to begin with him? He talking about Mendicant Bias is a whole different video on its own. Go to Halo Follower, he explains it. I can never explain it as well as he did. But, you know, I thought, you know, there's 4 things. So I'm hoping they'll all come around in Halo 5. So in Halo 5 we have, here's what that could possibly very well happen. In Halo 5 we could see, well, the Traitor Halsey is out of the question, but we could see, we could be in, that key that controls the Forerunner things, all the Forerunner technology in the, I want to say US for some reason, in the galaxy. Plus, we have the Flood to worry about now. We have Mendicant Bias that is on the Ark, and there's rumors that the Didac comes back. Maybe he'd be the 4th player, but so yeah, there's definitely a lot that could happen, and I'll be mad if they exclude some of the stuff. Because in Halo 5, they kind of ruined some of it, like the like how Halsey just I don't want to say magically because that's just such a bad word. Well, not a bad word. You know what I mean. Just switched back, and he didn't really get to know what she did when she was working with Jewel. But yeah, there's a lot to look at when this new game comes out. Now we're gonna talk about the multiplayer. So we don't really know anything about the multiplayer. At least I don't. All I know is I've just seen the trailer and I'm comparing it with the stuff that we've yet to see that we should have saw in Halo 5. That I've already talked about for the last 11 minutes.
Yeah, we just saw a teaser, so didn't show the multiplayer,
yeah.
of course.
So what do you think? How do you think they're going to handle multiplayer? I don't. There's a good chance that there might be some microtransactions in there because they did.
For cosmetics, though.
Yeah, kind of like that. Because they made a ton off of Halo 5, so I don't think they're going to take it away because they made a lot. It's not going to happen. But however, they may make it so there's not a rec system controlling how much that's controlling just pay to win. Because on Warzone, basically, whoever opens the most rec packs has the higher chance. And then they balanced it by putting you on super large teams, but it was still kind of pay to win in a lot of people's eyes. Now, one game mode I really want to see is, well, Invasion. You mean like the one in Halo? I never was a fan of that, but yeah, you could put that in there. Playable, yeah, if you could play as an elite and customize your elite's armor like you could in Halo 3. Halo 3 did that the best. I hope that we get an armor system similar to Halo Reach's or Halo 3's, or maybe kind of a combination of both. Because if you could play as an elite and had as much customization options as the Spartans in Halo Reach did, that would be pretty cool. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah. What armor do you think they're going to bring back?
Well, for armor, the armor set I want to see the most is just there's an armor set I just kind of got attached to it. I don't know why. There's 2 armor sets I really like. One of them was the Hayabusa from Halo 3, and another Halo 3 set that was kind of in Halo Reach, but it was only the helmet. But I want to see the combat armor and the Hayabusa.
Double kill.
I want to see Hayabusa too.
I mean, somebody did a kind of a cool 3D art concept of the Hayabusa armor, but yeah. So it does look like, so what we saw from the trailer, it does look like they're going kind of back to the Halo 2 arts, the Halo 2 remake art style that they used in the MCC collection.
They're probably just gonna mix everything from the new and old art style.
That
Like, they have a Halo 4 battle rifles and a Warthog. Most of it is classic, but some of it is Halo 4 stuff.
Yeah, some of it, but all right. So now let's talk about cool game modes that we want to see, that I personally want to see. So I was kind of getting to it. Bring back Invasion and bring back a lot of customization.
Headhunter.
Because Halo 3 did the elites pretty good justice. You could customize them pretty well, especially with the Spartans. But if we got as many customizations we got with, Halo Reach, but with both classes, the Singhili and the Spartans, that'd be really cool. I already said that. Time to move on. And for the game mode I loved Firefight. I mean, heck, I'm playing it right now. But if they add Firefight, I don't want it to be like Warzone Firefight. That was alright. But what I like to do is I like to be able to sit down. I like to customize what enemies I'm gonna fight. I like to customize what loadouts I'm gonna have. Here, I'm gonna kill myself in the game real quick so these guys can see how I set up my Firefight game. Or I can't kill myself. But yeah, I like to sit down and customize. You know, I customize every single wave, turn on what skulls appear at what. Anyway, so the Flood is back. And the one thing I've always wanted, and a lot of people want it too, I want to have Flood in Firefight. There was me and Ark were playing the same game mode on a different map yesterday. And it looked like an actual army of elites were just charging up the hill at us. There were so many you couldn't see the ground behind them, and we just got overwhelmed. I mean, we used our armor abilities and we took out quite a bit of them because in this game you have unlimited. But then we were pausing and we just thought how crazy that was because we saw them running up and we started panicking because there's so many and we knew we weren't going to be able to kill them all.
We got raped.
There was a ton of them. They were and we'd shoot and there's just more. And there's so many elites. And then after they finally killed us and we barely put a dent in their numbers, I'm saying, hey, imagine if that was like if those are all Flood that we were just fighting. And oh man, Flood Firefight, that would be so cool. I mean, man, just imagine you'd be able to customize, you know, Flood Army, or you could customize, you know, what you want to fight in Firefight.
Last enemy.
All right, Ark, what about you? Is there another idea you want to put out there? If you could make a game mode, what would you put in it? Just speculating.
Iron.
No way.
Bonus round. Good.
I would probably have like
Jolt.
like, yeah.
I'd start running if I were you. Run, Jolt. Wait a second. Are we even taking damage?
No.
This whole time I had invulnerability on. I was wondering why we were doing so well. That explains it. Oh, I was experimenting with the game mode earlier, so let me fix it. We're not supposed to be invulnerable. Normally that game mode is pretty hard. Let's see, game options. Go down here. All right. Redo that. So you want to see invasion?
Oh yeah, I want to see space battles.
It's a space battle in Halo. Well, people have tried making those in Forge, but Halo's just more of a on foot. I'm going guard this time. What are you? You better not be a guard as well. We both went. Oh, you went we both went guard. All right. Well, let's just jump in the middle and do as best as we can.
First strike. Double kill.
But I'm not gonna get my hopes up for the game just because, you know, recently all the big games I got my hopes up. I was just disappointed when they came out. Let's look at Battlefront 2, the EA one. I'm sure you've watched a ton of videos talking about that, but basically, you had to pay. You got everything from online loot boxes, and with the game, with a series like Star Wars, that's something you just want to play it, and you want to feel like you're in the movie. That's the point of having a Star Wars game.
Triple kill.
And with the original Battlefront, you could just do all that stuff. And then they came out, and I probably played, and then I realized it played like Battlefield, because and then I quit playing it. I never liked Battlefield. I just don't like it when a game is only multiplayer. There's but this one did have a campaign, so they at least tried.
That was terrible.
It was the first 3 missions were good. Alright, and so then there's Halo 5. In Halo 5, basically, the only really big thing happened was Cortana turned evil, and you did a bunch of stuff to get to her, and then she
Triple kill.
put a thing on the...
Shotgun
Then she
spree.
EMP'd the whole planet Earth. And that was basically it. That was basically it. Master Chief goes to this place, looks for Cortana. Spartan Locke chases him around. They go to a place, another place. They meet up with the Arbiter, and Cortana's evil, and blah blah blah. And that's basically all that happened. Only one major thing happened in the campaign, and it just made it kind of boring. Can they damage us? Yep, they can damage us. And I just hope that doesn't happen with Halo 5. If we get what we saw in the trailer, I'll be happy with that. Because with Halo 5, it looked like it was going to be an open world, didn't it? Didn't that kind of with Halo 6? It the way they made that cinematic look, it looked like it was open world. And people,
I think it's gonna be
open
sort
world,
of open world, but
sort of.
not like
I mean,
Fallout or Skyrim.
See, Halo's never been known for being an open world game. If they do that, there's definitely a good chance that people aren't going to like it. I mean, they did that with Halo ODST. A lot of people really hated wandering around that city. But I love doing that. Yeah, I love doing it. It was so fun to just hop on with a friend and see how long you could both survive on Legendary in that city. I mean, playing through the campaign, you want to know I mean, yeah, if you're playing it for the story, that I can see how that could be annoying. Because you want to know what happened to the rest of the squad, instead of having to run around the city just to play the next mission. Yeah, I can see that, but just playing or just running. Next time you and a friend hop on or hanging out, you two should try playing Halo 3 ODST and just put it on Legendary and just try to survive in the city. I guarantee. Well, I don't. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I guarantee you two are gonna have a little bit of fun, if not fun the entire time.
Sweet dreams.
So, Art. So, you've played Halo Wars 2, right?
Yeah. I didn't finish the campaign, though.
Yeah. You never finished the campaign. But do you know everything that happened in the campaign?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so... how do you if Halo Wars 2 does influence Halo Infinity, how do you think it's gonna... like, what can you expect to see in Halo Infinity that Halo Wars 2 is building up to?
Well, the legendary ending, well, it wasn't legendary. Like, the ending of Halo Wars 2 showed the same ring at the end of Halo 5. And Anders we're probably gonna see Anders.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. We're gonna probably, I don't know, Master Chief meeting that fire team in Halo Wars. I forgot what their name was. That would be kind of cool.
Red team?
Yeah, we're probably gonna, yeah, Red Team, if that was it. Or it was Red Team or Omega Team. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, it was Red Team.
Now here's the big thing that we've been saving for, or accidentally saved for last, but it was a good thing we did. We'll probably talk about something after anyway. Was, if you notice in the Halo Infinity's trailer, if you haven't seen it, go watch it now, because you really just want to watch it first before listening to anything this idiot on the computer says. There was a scene in it where Master Chief plugged in the... It looks like he put Cortana in his helmet, but there's no guarantee that it was Cortana, but it was the blue glow that we saw from it. And he put it in the back of his helmet. So that's kind of making... Probably, maybe. Oh yeah, he did meet up with Dr. Halsey. So it's possible it could be another clone of... It could be a Cortana clone. But...
probably not, though.
At this point, if you're hoping for a logic... If you're hoping for the logic plague... well, it wasn't that confusing. Cortana said you could do it in Halo 4.
Oh, she did. I forgot.
Yeah, because Cortana technically, but from what we know, she's the only AI ever generated from living tissue. Wait a second. So if she's generated from living tissue, maybe the Logic Plague won't have as strong as a hold on her. No, because I remember the Didact got affected by the Logic Plague, and he's a biological being. I don't know, but so it looks like Master Chief is gonna get Cortana back, or if not, a clone of her or some other AI. And as for the Logic Plague, if you're hoping that was gonna happen, it doesn't look too likely. But one thing that it could still happen. But there's one thing we need to see in Halo 5. There's certain things questions that we haven't had answered, or Halo 6. Halo 6 that we need to see in Halo 6 is, one, we need Mendicant Bias. They have this whole story in Mendicant Bias just sitting on the Ark waiting to be dug up. Halo Wars 2 is on the Ark, so we're probably going to get him. I'll be mad if we don't get Mendicant Bias, because Mendicant Bias has knowledge of the Flood, and basically he's what you need to learn how to kill the Flood, besides the Halo ring.
Hero.
So I want to see Mendicant Bias back in. I want to, for campaign-wise, I kind of hope it's the Logic Plague that was affecting Cortana. Or we get a clone of Cortana and we're fighting her. And I want to fight the Flood. I really hope that when we get there, it's not they're not 3 for 3 isn't gonna pull something and just say, oh yeah, the Banished and the UNSC teamed up and exterminated the Flood. Well, that's boring. I wanted to fight it in first person. Because we haven't really... The only time we really saw the Flood in, like, the new gen was in the Halo Wars 2 cinematics. Man, those things look creepy. So, yeah, I want to fight the Flood. And what else is there?
We can talk about which faction might be in the game.
Factions, or yeah, we want to see all the factions that exist in the game currently. We want to see the Banished. We want to see, we want to see the Banished. We want to see the UNSC. We want to see the the Prometheans are just part of Halo, so you have to have them in the game. Don't take out stuff that you've been building up like they did in Halo 5, because I was just disappointed because I was looking forward to all this stuff that was going to happen. That never happened. Now I'm hoping that the stuff they left out of Halo 5 will be put into Halo 6. Oh! I was gonna pull up my armor lock and let him explode, but he blew up a second too late. So yeah. Now, as we were talking about, so you said you didn't think we were gonna be we were gonna be. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be playing on that other Halo ring.
Yeah, it's pretty much confirmed.
Yeah, it's pretty much confirmed. But I want at least the first half or the second half of the campaign to take. What just happened? To take place on the Ark, because there's stuff that we need to know. What happened to the rest of the Flood on the Ark? What happened to Mendicant Bias? Is he still there? Are we going to use
Whatever to the Spirit of Fire and the Banished?
Yeah, what's going on with them? We want either explain everything that happened on the Ark in Halo Wars 3. Oh, I just think so here's a possibility. So they're going to do Master Chief going on to that Halo ring and doing whatever he's going to be doing in Halo 6. And maybe we'll get a Halo Wars 3 of what those guys are doing at the same time, but on the Ark. That could happen. I hope not. I want to be playing on both because I want to fight the Flood again. I love fighting the Flood. They're creepy.
At all costs, Spartan. Set, start, skulls on.
You there, Joel?
Oh
right,
yeah.
Let's try this again. Did we pick the same class again?
No.
No, we didn't. All right. So I guess you'll stick with me. Since I'm playing the guard this time. I forgot what we were saying.
Up Arc. How they had to
Oh,
include
yeah.
everything from
Yeah.
Halo Wars 2.
They either, yeah. I want, so yeah, just don't, I really, really hope they don't leave things out that we've been asking for. I just don't want them to leave it out. I was just, the Halo 4's campaign was just boring. I played through it once. I'll probably only play it once more just to beat it on Legendary, and that'll be it. Heck, I don't even remember half the stuff you did in the Halo 5 campaign because it was just so bland. Yeah. Now let's go through it now. Now, let's go through the different... So what we want... Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So it looked like it was going to
wish
be... Yeah, the wish list. So we want all the game modes that we've gotten in the past Halos in this one. We want... Sure, go ahead and put Warzone in there. Just don't make it... Yeah. Well, I don't mind if they put Warzone in, but I want all the other stuff as well. I want Firefight. Normal Firefight, like in Halo Reach. I want Theater. I want Forge. Definitely Forge. And there's one thing I've been wanting that we've always wanted in a Halo game. Maybe it'll be only. I think the Halo. I think the Xbox One should be able to handle. I know that Windows 10 can, because Halo Infinity is going to be on the Halo. Is going to be on Halo 10. Windows 10 is. I've always wanted to be able to spawn and make missions in Forge. I wanted to spawn enemies in, have cool firefights in Forge. You know, because I remember when the first time I was playing Forge on Halo Reach, the intel spawns had little people set up, or it had like a hologram of a Spartan on the spawn point. And I thought, oh cool, I can make it so it will spawn AI Spartans. So I set up a whole scenario. I set up their teams. Like, you could set up what team the AI is going to be on, and then you could, you know, make little missions. And I spent like 3 hours setting up this map for it. And then when I started it, nada. I was so sad. Oh man, just thinking about how disappointed I was. You know, I kind of understand that could be hard for, but it's the Xbox. The Xbox One X should, and the Windows 10 should be able to load that. I mean, heck, look at the games like Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator and stuff like that. I've always wanted to be able to spawn. Yeah, Far Cry does it. Yeah, Far Cry. I was thinking about that, but I never was able to say it because I never got around to it. Far Cry did it. Now, there's one thing that I look at. There's one thing I look at with every game to determine whether or not it's going to be loved or hated. And depending on how much of this one thing is in the game will determine its overall success, its chances of being successful. How much freedom the player has in the game. If it's a game where the player can only do one thing and there's nothing else to do, it's not going to be successful. If you make it so the player has to pay money to do stuff in the game, it's not going to last too long. If it's a game where, ow! I'm a hero because I died. If it's a game where you can only play online against other players, it's gonna suck because you're only appealing to one audience, but there's multiple audiences out there that want different stuff. If you put it all in a game, everybody's gonna love it. If there's freedom to do what you want in the game, you can do it. Don't put restrictions in the game that'll piss the player off. It's that simple. And as for a game, if it's loved, you'll make money. You'll make a lot more money off of it than a game that they have to pay to do everything in it. Because that game will be successful. It'll last years and years after it's come out. I mean, look at. But then there are exceptions, because there are a few games that just because they did such a good job on the characters in the game. Like, let's look at Team Fortress 2. It's been 10 years. There's no campaign in it. They rarely ever do updates, but people love that game. I played it. It's fun. I don't know why the game has lasted as well as it did, because imagine if Team Fortress 2 had a single-player campaign that you could do that played kind of like the... Anyway, but we're not talking about that. That's probably a discussion for later. I need to get rid of that thing. Damn it, I missed. There we go. So what else was I talking about? You're making me do all the talking here. Come on, talk. Yeah, if you get an idea,
I was
say
listening. We were talking about how it should have a lot of freedom.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just the more freedom the player has, the better the game is going to age. The more liquidity the game you feel when you play a game, because Halo Reach, it had a bunch of game modes. There's Firefight, Campaign, Matchmaking, Custom Games, Forge, Theater. Then you have 18 different game modes that you can play in custom games. With Firefight, if it was just one game mode on Firefight, people wouldn't play it. But right here, they made it so you can modify. You can decide what you're going to fight against, and it's pretty fun. I tend to talk about the same thing over and over in a video.
I think it needs a lot of replay value. Like it needs like classic Firefight, AI and Forge, a very open campaign where you can do a bunch of stuff. Just stuff like that. Like in all kinds of options.
And as many maps as possible. Don't pull a Halo 2 Anniversary where you only make 6 maps. That was just no. Make as many maps as you can possibly make. Because the more work you put in the game, the better it's gonna be. If you put as much work as you can trying to get money out of a game, the game is gonna die before it reaches. It's gonna die early. Think of it as a star. The big stars give off a lot more fuel, but then they die early. But the smaller, I'm talking about an actual star, not a celebrity star. Big difference there. And the smaller ones that are just made in the smaller stars, they burn for billions. Like the brown dwarf stars, those things will burn for billions of years. Heck, we don't even know how they're gonna die because they're expected to live so long. It's the same thing. If you put more expectation in the game to make money, then actually have the players love the game, like they did in Battlefront 2 and a little bit in Halo 5, and like with mobile games, you won't see a mobile game in a lot of the mobile games. Oh, it's just terrible. But you never see them in 5 years because they don't age. They don't age well because you get the same experience every time you play it. But the more freedom you have, you can try something different the next time you play it. You're like, hey, I'm gonna try this, and you do that thing, and you think it's really cool. Well, what if I try this, and what if I shoot this guy instead of let him live or something like that? Let's look at a game studio. Telltale's. Telltale gives players a ton of freedom. You can choose what you say, you can choose you basically decide how your game ends. You feel like you are the game. You feel like you're the character in the game. You can decide what you say. There's no... And you can try and influence the future of the game to what you want, to what appeals to you. And they've done a great job with almost every single one of their games. Now imagine... This probably won't happen, but if there was ever a Telltale game series, let's say it's a Telltale game series, you play as an ODST, and let's just make a concept here. So we're gonna be in a Halo Telltale series. You're an ODST in, let's say, your team is stranded on a Covenant planet. Yeah, Covenant planet. Let's look at that. And you have to make decisions that will probably influence the rest of your squad. There'll be really cool cutscenes where you're in fights with, like, St. Hillies and stuff. You could kind of be the guy that would take care of his squad, or you'd be the guy that just uses his squad to boost his own survival chances. Just imagine how... I think that'd be really cool. I mean, if you don't like that, it's your choice, but Telltale is successful as it is because in all of its games, it gives players freedom. The more freedom a game gives its player, the better. And now, when I say freedom, that doesn't mean that they'll let you because that doesn't mean, oh, so I could mod my game and kill us and mod and cheat in my game. No, that's just I did not mean that at all. There should be some restrictions in a game. If a game has no restrictions, people are going to destroy the game because people are people. But I'm talking about is freedom as in I've been talking about it. If you don't know what kind of freedom in a game I'm talking about, there you go. Because then you go play a Telltale game or go play what's another game that gives you a bunch of freedom? Telltale definitely is first place in that. But in a game like Battlefront 2... Oh, okay, so here's an example of what not to do. How I kind of knew Battlefront 2 was going to go down. Alright, so let's say if you're a player like me and you don't want to fight against other players nonstop and you want to just go in the arcade and play. So you load up, you can pick like 4 different maps. Oh crap, there's energy swords out there. Careful. Oh, dirty.
We can't afford to let them hold that area. I'm calling in orbital assets.
Game
So
over.
yeah, so with the Battlefront 2, the new one, I'd hop on arcade and it would put you in a little fraction of the map, and you couldn't do it. And heck, there were maps you couldn't even play on in arcade. You can pick like 6 maps, and instead of putting you in the whole giant thing, it'd pick like one corner of the map to keep everybody in. And saying, oh, if you want to go out here, you have to play online. Well, I don't want to play online because I'm online because I don't want to play. I don't want to go do that because then I can't play casually. I'll try to act like an actual stormtrooper and whatnot, like you could in the original one. If you do that, you just die and you don't have any fun because everybody else is playing as hard as they can. It just doesn't work. I mean, man, it was fun, but there's so many restrictions in it. It just pissed you off because you could run over. Oh, there's the big room with all the jars of clones and stuff. But you couldn't go in there. Instead, you had to stay and fight in the hangar the whole time. Well, oh, look, there's an outside place with all the different platforms and stuff you can run on. You go out there. Nope, sorry. Oh, that's where the enemy team spawns. There's nothing you could do there. You have to stay inside the hangar and fight. Oh, what's the point? And then you go online and you could go through all these different things. You know, I haven't played Battlefront. I only played Battlefront 2 like a month after it came out, or like the month it came out, and I haven't played it since. So I don't know if they fixed it or not, but that's just give the players freedom and give us what we ask for, because people have been asking for Halo to let you spawn AI in Forge and then play it in custom for a long time. Heck, there's a mod in Halo Reach that lets you kind of do that. You could spawn Spartans, but there's no AI controlling them. And I think there's mods on Halo. Oh, big thing. You'll notice. Did you already die?
Yeah. I got killed by a
I can't
suicide
play
gun
with this
behind
lag.
me.
Double kill.
Man, this like 1 second delay is making sharpshooting so hard. Hold up. Oh, and with there's one thing I always hated is I can't. Is there a guy behind me? Why don't you tell me when those things are behind me?
I thought you could hear it.
No, I have cloak on. Everything's dampened.
Oh.
Anyway.
Not my fault.
This lag is
Active cam was shit in this game.
What was I talking about? Is there a whole line of suicide grunts over here? No, but they're gonna be suicide grunts in a second.
Killing spree.
Oh wow.
What was the other thing?
Reloading.
I'm too distracted in the game. All right, guys. 1 second. I need to clear these guys out. See, freedom, but with challenge.
It needs
Yeah.
to be back.
freedom. There needs to be basic
Hero.
restrictions in a game, but not over restrictions that just make you feel like you're in a box. Because when I was playing Battlefront, if you play Battlefront on the arcade, you feel like you're in a box. You can do anything inside that box, but if you want to go outside that box, you have to play in a different game mode where other people can screw up your experience. Don't do that. Let players do anything they could do in an offline mode that they can in an online mode. And it will do fine. Give them freedom to make different decisions every time they play the game so they have a different experience. But if there's so many restrictions in a game that you can't... And every time you play is the same, your player base is going to drop because people would rather play games that let you do that. You know what I mean, Ark?
Yeah. Like how Halo 5, you can only play the campaign offline.
You can play the campaign online.
I mean, if you don't have, you can only play. All right, I fucked that up. If you're offline, you can only play the campaign.
Oh no! Oh God! Oh God! I remember how bad that would be. So currently you need. I guess you can be online, but so in Halo. So if you didn't have online, the only thing you could do in Halo 5 was play the campaign. That was it. However, if you got online, you could do you basically you have to pay to get online to play the rest of the game. It's not all there. I can't even put it in the words. They did say it was just such a bad thing to do. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought I had my armor locked. And they took split screen out. Now, one thing that made Halo big was because it was a game you could sit down with your friend and play with. Then they took that out. That was one of the main things that made Halo what it was. Because in the first Halo, you can always watch videos of people's first time playing Halo. They said, "Oh, my friend had Halo, and we tried playing it, and it was really cool." And let's say you have a friend now, and you're like with me, I have a ton of friends, but I'm the only one that has an Xbox. And now we can't play any co-op. We can't play anything. We can't play Halo 5 because you can only play it online from another console. Yeah, that just bugged. Oh, that was just bad. Don't do that. If anything, make it so give us like. Just give us everything that we'd get in an offline version of the game that we would get in an online one. If it's a game where you're only going against multiplayer, give us, or other players, give us an offline mode where you go against AIs and you can and you can customize the AI to your heart's content. You can customize what difficulty they are. You can customize what type of creature they are, like in Firefight. You can customize, your settings so you can experiment and have different experiences. You can just do that. The more I can't say how important this is. The more freedom a game has, the more freedom the player has to a game in a game. Okay, you need my help. Let me help you there. 1 second.
Sharpshooter.
I'm working on it!
Oh my god.
I'm working on it!
Double kill.
They're shooting me with everything they have.
Just keep popping your shields up. I'm
Be
thinning them out.
Bullet.
I'm kind of slow
Run
because
riot.
there's a 1 second
Double
delay in
kill.
every button I press. Man, you got completely pinned down there. Woo! Get the grunt! So, alright, now I'm going to use this game mode as this game mode that I've made for Firefight as an example. You get a completely different experience playing this game mode when you have than the normal Firefight. In this one, I've set up different classes, and each class has its own weakness and defense. So like for him, he has a shotgun and a Spartan laser. So he's really good at keeping other classes shields up. It's like if there's a ton of fire, he can just keep the shields up, and people can pop in and get their shields up, then poke their head out and take a few shots. But the only problem is because of the weapons he has, he can't kill things that are far away from his shield. Like if there's a jackal standing halfway across the map that's just, or a grunt with a fuel rod that's just blasting him, his only chances of killing him is he has to get a Spartan laser out, get the charge on the Spartan laser, and manage to actually hit the jackal, and he has to stick his head out too to shoot the one thing. But if you have, but the other classes like me, I was able to, because of the cloaking device, I was able to sit back. I was able to pick them all off because they were so distracted with him, and he basically wasn't taking any damage. See, that's how you handle restrictions. You want to restrict stuff so it's balanced, but you don't want to and you don't want to make it feel like, because, all right, let me reread this. So once you have something set up, if like imagine if I took classes out of this game mode and added something else. But kept around, it wouldn't be the same. If like once you have something set up and people like that experience, don't rework it like they do in some games. I can't name the games that did that off the top of my head. Too much change can be really bad, but Destiny, that was it. Yes, Destiny. With the way their multiplayer came out, they were nerfing and bulking things up non-stop, and it was just all over the place, and it just wasn't fun to do a campaign on there. It was just, or not campaign, to do multiplayer, because you know you could work really hard to get on a weapon, but and then the next week it could suck because they modify it too much. There's a certain state that developers have to find where the game's not perfect, but if they mess with it anymore, it's going to get worse. And I've noticed that game developers have a really hard time telling when they just need to leave the game alone because it's at the point where it won't get any better, but it won't get any worse either. It's just where it needs to be. And then they try to fix it, and it doesn't get anywhere. Like anyway, but we'll just have to see what we get in the next 1 or 2 years. I don't know what the launch date of Halo Infinite is, but we'll just have to see what we got. But
late 2019 or early 2020.
Yeah, but so hopefully we'll just see what we get, because if we get what we saw in the trailer and more, then we'll be happy. And if there's a lot of freedom, if there's a ton of different game modes, if you can have a different experience every time you play the game, then it will last and it will age well. Like Combat Evolved. Combat Evolved, you know, if you play it now, you'd say, oh, there's no multiplayer, or blah blah, and it probably wouldn't do really well if it launched now. But because when it came out, when it did, and it had back when Halo Combat Evolved came out, there was so much freedom in the game to do what you wanted. It just made it just felt right. You could do whatever you wanted in the game, it felt like. And in every other Halo game, so when you make a new game, you should include all the stuff. See, when Halo 2 came out, it used to be when a game, oh my god.
Cover me, I'm reloading.
It used to be when you made a game, everything that was in that game, or everything that was in the last game, was in this game and more. There was an extension. It was an extension, not a different game. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait and see when it comes out. Well, anyway, so yeah. We'll just have to wait and see.
This game isn't just single player and it has multiplayer. Kind of worried about that.
Anyway, so I'll see you guys later. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're doing Twitch, do whatever you do on Twitch, because I forgot, because I don't use Twitch anymore. And I will see you guys.